Okay, and so what all of this means, if this is going to be a three-part video series now, because I am almost ready to leave the tent, all I gotta do is put on my shoes and my last hat, is that really all of this that I'm talking about today, it comes from reading a Marty Friedman interview. And it comes from talking to my dad, who was a youth in the 70s. And it comes from VH1 doing a history of metal that I watched when I was 17, and it's very formational to me. And what I'm realizing now is something that I've just never thought about, and that I'm realizing a lot of other people, you specifically, probably are screaming at me, but won't say in the comments, that this is what's actually going on with metal music. Hero worship. Somehow, metal musicians became heroes. They became culture heroes, but they became role models. And I think it has something to do with how in the 80s, so many of them were so poor. Metal, especially glam and hair metal, really, really did give a voice to the destitute, the desperately poor in the 80s. And so a lot of people who are older than me, their memories of metalheads are of poor people like me, people who are dirty and poor and like that. But their memories are also of Kiss and Diamond Dave. So of sexual athletes. Well, men who behave like that, they behave like that because they're sad sack losers. Like Diamond Dave, he behaves the way he does because he's a loser. But he doesn't want you to know he's a loser. And so that's why people worship him. Is because if he's not a loser, then they're not losers by proxy by being his fans. And I can see where I did some of that, where like when I was a teenager, I was really into Tool. And I can see how some of Maynard's behavior I learned and I adopted for myself. Because I can see it now as an adult and I can go, nah, I don't really care for the way that guy behaves in public anymore. Which means there was a time where I was behaving like him in public and I didn't like myself very much. And so really what I'm talking about is I just think it's very strange that metal as a genre has existed since the 60s, since the 70s, at the very latest, and we don't really think about it as a part of the popular milieu of music. Lots of people listen to bands like Slipknot still. Metal is still very popular. It's still very popular on the internet. It's popular enough on the internet that people try to do what I'm doing around the fact they've got a metal band. It's popular enough that you see articles all the time of people like, man, where's the next great metal guy? Where's the next Dimebag Darrell? Like, what happened to virtuoso musicians? Why are they all in their 50s now? What happened? And the answer is like Limp Bizkit. It's like this hyper masculinity just turns people who aren't gay